point, Daniel, is not completely like bad in the sense as yes, teach them critical thinking, but also I think that it is very important to teach them morality in a way, but not in a, but more in an ethics kind of way. So philosophy, ethics. So what do you base, like ethics is basically deciding if something is good or bad on objective criteria. And these criteria is those that you can elaborate your thinking on to choose whether something is good or bad. So that should be included, of course.
Yes.
And then you can
I don't disagree. Yeah.
But usually when you think, you know, about the facts of history, about how women have been oppressed by men, most people would naturally come to the conclusion, if they have a little bit of morals and ethics, that women have been unfairly treated.
Okay. Yes.
Treated.
Yes. I agree with you. And let them come to that conclusion. Because, like you said, they probably will. That's what I mean.
Yeah,
I think, yes, teach them the tools that they can use.
I think that it's possible to make, like, the goal of ethics is to have like a moral judgment of something the most objective possible and the most transparent possible. So basically, I would say that men oppressing women is wrong. It's bad. Why do I say this? I would say it creates inequality. It's unfair. It's based, like, the way that women and men are unequal is based like criteria that is completely unsubstantiated. Like there's no reason for that in a moral ethics kind of way. And you could go into like more detail. Like I'm not an expert in this, but
now I think that's where I think you're getting into the territory of opinion. Whereas if you teach them critical thinking, ethics, and facts, they'll probably come to the same conclusion you are. But telling them your moral conclusion, I don't think is ideal, because now it's subject to whose moral framework you're looking through.
But if you teach them critical thinking, they're going to be able to critically assess what I'm saying. Like, for example, like I've taken philosophy classes like in university, and they will make you read a text, and they will, like, I know it's university, like, and we're talking younger people, but the main goal of university is
obviously, that's a totally different ball game. Yeah.
But I think there's still like there's a whole field of like philosophy for children in it. So that's a whole other thing. But there's a way to make them learn to think critically, and you can just you can show them a text of like feminist ideology or facts and say, okay, what do you think about this? Like, how can we like what's good, what's bad about this, whatever.
Yeah, and that's great.
But ultimately, like the way that even science facts are constructed is making a case for a fact to be accepted. You know, you're gonna, if even if I want to do a science fact, like I want to say, okay, like smoking causes lung cancer, I'm gonna do some research, I'm gonna do a paper, and I'm gonna say, well, I think that smoking causes lung cancer because of this, and this. You know, and because of these points, I have come to the conclusion that smoking causes lung cancer. And then you can criticize it, agree with it or not. But then eventually there's a consensus that's being made.
Okay, but if the consensus was men cause lung cancer, now we've got a separate moral issue at hand.
But that's not like that. That's not what we're saying. So, but
no, I know, but you're using it for that.
I'm just explaining the way that facts are constructed, because I think it's important to also think critically about the way that facts are constructed, because you seem very focused on the fact. But the reality of our society in its complexity, like beyond laws and data and numbers, is that there are patterns, that there is a consensus, that in all like academics, in philosophy, sociology, anthropology, that the way that women have been treated has been unfair and has been oppressive and is wrong. That is a scientific consensus among the social sciences.
Okay, so if that
it would be a fact to teach that.
If that were your conclusion about a specific race of people, would you be okay with teaching that?
I mean, yeah, about white people.
Okay,
So,
okay. If that were any other race of people, would you be okay with it?
I mean, if there was a case that
Or
was
would you be
made
okay with
for it,
concluding that being a Muslim makes you more likely to mistreat women? Teaching
so
children that?
I think that it's
Let's say the
important.
data pointed there. The data points there. Would you be okay with teaching children that?
I think that
I think you can make the case for a religious belief and indoctrination that can make the case that due to the fact that these things can occur in the youth and as they progress, then it causes it, then yeah, sure, you can make that case.
yeah, I
In
think
public
it's
schools.
What do you mean in public?
Do you think it's a good idea to do that in public schools in K through 12?
If well, no, I mean, you what? No. Listen, when it comes
Well,
to religion,
yeah, of course it's not.
yeah, but I'm gonna say, like, when it comes to teaching children about religious stuff, I'm absolutely against it. I do not like the idea of kids learning anything about religion because religion is one of the greatest evils on the fucking planet. So yeah, so teaching them that, no, but at least
But is it okay to teach them that about religion? Here's what people have done in the name of religion. Here's what this religion believes. Right?
yes,
That's cool.
yeah, sure, you can do that. But the thing is, they may not partake in that religious belief and all that kind of shit, but they do actually live in society, and society is the thing that we're trying to point at, and not just religious belief. Society is kind of a different little Easter egg, right? So you want to teach them how society has changed and how you want to change society, whereas religion is just something fucking, you know.
But what I'm saying is you believe religion is an evil in the world, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think it's okay to teach children that?
Fuck yeah.
Okay, so there we go. I agree with
I
teaching them
I don't
about
think you're
here's
going to
what
win this
this religion.
argument. You're not going to win
Here's
that
what
argument.
this religion believes. Okay, Mary Lou, do you think it's okay
no,
to teach children that religion is
listen,
bad?
Listen. Before you jump to Mary
with
Lou,
saying that religion is a net negative for society.
Yes, it is. Every religion.
Okay, and that's I agree with you. I hate religion, dude. I know, but that's what I'm saying. I don't disagree.
So then you would be okay with us teaching that religion is bad for society?
I'm not okay with it.
Why?
No, that's my point, dude. I agree with you, but I'm not okay with teaching that to kids.
Why? The whole entire point is you want to stop bad behavior as early as possible.
Teach them what things religion has led to. Maybe these people killed in the name of this god or whatever, and this is what they believed. That's cool. We know that from these writings, blah blah blah, and then they can make the moral judgment on it.
Wait, no. Listen, you have another problem. You have another problem with that is you can teach them all of this shit, but like I said, once they go home, there's a different fucking problem right there too. The old generation has its own views, and then they indoctrinate that shit into the younger generation, even if you're trying to teach them better.
You want the school to take more of the parental role in raising kids?
No, okay, this is gonna sound bad, but I want there to be more restrictions on parents on teaching certain things to their children. That's it.
Mary Lou, jump in here. You gotta help me out. I feel like Mary Lou's more reasonable than you.
I'm thinking about the Muslim thing, and I think the issue here is that you're kind of you're putting the Muslim religion and the Muslim people on the spotlight, while this is unnecessary because
it could be any.
Wait. It's unnecessary to point the spotlight to Muslim people and Muslim men because men in general are super violent to women. If you look at the statistics for violent crimes,
but if some group of people
are committed, like violent crimes,
if some group of people were worse
by men,
if some group of people were worse, do you think it's like?
I don't think it's relevant. I think if you teach the children to think critically in general about the ideologies that are perpetrated in society,
I agree with you
about the way that women are, that like the idea of women are constructed in a way that is inferior to men, then these people are automatically going to be able to notice it in every other area of life without necessarily stigmatizing a certain group of people.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. They're going to come to the conclusion that we both seem to have come to without telling them the conclusion morally.
So why point specifically to Muslim men when you can just talk about men? Is my question.
Well, then why talk about men when you can talk about people?
Because there is like I said, if you look, for example, this is one example, the statistics for violent crimes, they're committed like 95% by men.
Oh shit, you're going in on the blacks now. That's not good.
What? What?
She's talking about teaching kids about crime statistics.
Oh,
I mean, this is just an example, okay?
And she's talking about violent crimes. What the fuck?
Like, I'm just saying that if you look at the pattern, if you teach these kids to look at how women have been oppressed in general in society, in all areas, it could be religion, but it doesn't even have to be a specific religion because all religions have been oppressive to women. But if you just teach them to
do you think they've all been equally oppressive?
I don't know enough about all the religions to make a statement on that. So
I think Buddhists have probably been the same.
Yeah, I would think so because I think most
Maxos,
Buddhists,
get in here. Where the fuck are you, man?
I think Buddhists have been more male than anything else. And
Maxos,
I don't recall that many female Buddhists.
Okay, how about those one people? What are they called? I forget what they've got. I forget what they're called. What do they get? Some kind of Krishna thing.
I do think that, like, for example, within Christian or Muslim cycles or any religious circle, they should teach the children about both the good and the bad of the religion. So you can say,
wait. Sorry. No religion has been good.
No, but let's just say, okay, like, for example, the basic like 10 commandments of Christianity.
Yes, agreed.
Do not kill, whatever. Like, it's fine, right?
Here are the facts of what they believe.
Guys, you don't even need to teach them that. You just need to teach them fucking how to respect other humans. That's it. You don't need to teach them anything about 10 commandments bullshit.
I agree with that.
I agree, but the reality is that religion is not going anywhere. Like, I'm sorry, but it's not going anywhere. So we gotta do harm reduction, okay? It's like with drugs. Harm reduction. Harm reduction is like, look, the good things about a religion is that we don't kill anyone, technically, in theory. But in practice, not so much, because look at the history. So please don't be like our ancestors and don't go be like, do some missionary stupid ass things. Be nice. Do the nice things and don't take everything the fucking stupid book says. Okay? Think critically about the book. Okay? You're capable.
Yes.
I think that it would be really beneficial for religions to teach their own members about like extremism, like, and the way that their ideologies from the original book might be outdated for XYZ reasons. But
yeah,
then again, it's a tricky topic because they're like, God, God is never wrong, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, well, they can kind of bend that any which way, but I mean, I guess
again, like,
we ideally, but then that's within religious teachings, they can do whatever the fuck they want, I guess.
Yeah. No, I think it would be difficult to convince them to do that, but if we look if we take the reality that religion is not going anywhere, I think it would be really beneficial for them to do that if you want to look at a religion specific way. But I think it's really useless to just like pin people against each other in terms of like religious groups and everything. Because if we look at it right now, like, Muslims are already like super stigmatized and marginalized and violent against. So like, it wouldn't do anything to just throw them under the bus and be like, yeah, they're like, why just talk about them? Why you can
right, but why pit the genders against each other either? On if you're talking about like purposefully framing it a certain way, instead of just letting them come to the conclusion like, yeah, historically men, as if I'm thinking of them as a group, these are the things that have been done by men.
Yeah, but so I think that even if we do that, like the facts, you know, if you're so stuck on the facts, like the facts are not going to be in your favor. Like
I never,
you know.
but you don't even know what in my favor is. They are in my favor because they'll probably come to the conclusion that I've come to. I mean, in terms of like what you're saying, I don't disagree with. If I look at the facts, I'm going to say men have been shitty to women historically, have been oppressive, yada, all that stuff.
Listen,
I'm not going to disagree.
Okay,
so they are in my favor, so they'll probably come to that conclusion.
No, okay. Here's where I'm going to make a defense, right? And I'm going to use COVID as an example. Listen, we know all the facts, almost all the facts about COVID, and yet you still have a huge percentage of the population who are against the requirements.
They haven't been taught to think critically.
That's the problem.
I mean,
that's hence the problem. As much as you think that people are going to think critically throughout their life and all that kind of shit, it doesn't happen.
I'm saying if you're talking about prioritizing like the change of mindset thing, I think it's more important to teach them to think critically than it is to fill them with your ideas about things. Like teach them to think. It's like it's the lead a horse to water thing. You can lead a horse to water, you can't make him drink. But if you give that horse a bunch of tools, like he's got a straw now. This horse has a big ass straw that's called critical thinking, and now it's easy for him to drink.
Here's what you do. If that stupid ass saying, I fucking hate that saying, is because you know what I would do? I'd take that horse and I'd walk it around for fucking 10 days and then stick it near the water and see if it drinks. Because
but what in my analogy, you educate the horse. I mean, this analogy is way off the rails now. It's way off the rails, but my horse is educated, you see, so he can tell if this water's poisonous or not.
My whole entire point is you teach them, you take the time to teach them, which is in 10 days, and then you drag them to the water and say, hey, what do you think the best option for you?
Maxos, right, get in here, man.
Yes.
Talk.
In favor of drowning children, if that will teach you.
Okay. That's a different angle, but just as valid.
What do you guys want to know? I got lost when we stopped talking about pubes. That was kind of like the height of the conversation for me.
Pubic hair? Okay.
No, I mean, go ahead.
Yeah, I have to call my mom, so I'm gonna be on mute for a while. If you're still there when I'm done with the call.
Well, if you want, we could kind of cut it off now, and we could always resume another time.